Alrighty, so VRConcert. What is it anyway? It's a tool I made to create VR performances / concert videos. And basically what that means is that you can provide a set of video performances. Like in this case, I have a guitar player and a bass player, and also a single audio track. And with those performances, you also provide a 3D scene, which in this case I'm using the one that comes on the example. And basically you just have to mark a couple planes on that scene with the name performance and the index of the performance that you want to show up there. And what will this output is pretty much what you see here, which is a virtual concert that works on desktop, mobile, and even on VR headsets that support web VR like the Oculus Quest and Windows Mixed Reality and all that. Okay, so now that you know what it is, how do you set it all up together? So for that, I'm just gonna be, first of all, what you're gonna need is an HTTP server, and for that, as the Mozilla Developer Network recommends, and I think it's the most cross-platform way to do this, is just use the Python simple HTTP server. So I'm just gonna run it here, and we're gonna be creating a small HTML template, some style sheet, and a JavaScript module. And for the index template, we're just gonna be copying pretty much the one that comes as an example, removing the things that doesn't really need, so it's more simple for simplicity. And yes, you just have a super straightforward page with a style sheet, a JavaScript module, and a single div on where to mount stuff. And for the styles, I'm just gonna copy and paste the ones that comes with the sample, which is pretty much a standard CSS reset, and just a thing that makes our mount cover the whole viewport. So that's pretty much it. And if I just open this thing, you will see that we have our blank canvas ready to start with the script. Okay, so what we're gonna first need is, of course, a video performance and a scenery. So I'm just gonna be downloading the example one for simplicity's sake. It's gonna get the video. And as you can see, this video, what it is just a packet of the audio and the two videos into a single file. And in order to do this, you can do it with some video editor that you want, or you could even use the provided script if you got FFmpeg installed. And this script will just get the input files, crop them, and pack them into a single WebM file for you. We're also gonna need a scenery, and I'm just gonna be getting the one from the example 2. Let me just rename this to their proper name. That should do. Cool. So now the only thing remain is to import the VRConcert library, and call it, telling first where we want to mount our concert, that in this case is just a single div we got on our page. And then give it destinary, which in this case is gonna be just stage duo GLB. There you go. And finally the performance list, which is just gonna need the number of members, which in this case is whatever many videos you have packed horizontally, any performances you got packed. Then the track list is gonna be the actual video files, because you can have as many as you like, and they will play sequentially once the user starts the show, and then loop back to the beginning and keep playing over and over into infinity. And then you can set your title here, and that should be all the code that you actually need to see it happen. Let's just go here. Let me just check that I'm not getting anything catch. Cool. And as you can see, it loads the scene. It's pretty dark right now because we only have like 3 spotlights. So in order to have some kind of ambient lighting, it also supports that, and you can just pass these parameters to have like an hemisphere light kind of ambient. You just pass the sky color, the ground, and an optional vector for the position of the light. And there you go. Now you can see all the other stuff too. And the only thing that's missing is that you need to specify if you want to. It's optional, and in this case we want it. And that is a chroma key color, which should be enough with just passing green pretty much. But to make it a bit more accurate, I'm just gonna put that color which is more according with the video that I'm using. And as you can see, you can barely see the line. So okay. So now on to doing custom sceneries, and in order to do that I'm gonna be using Blender, but I guess you could use any 3D package that you like, as long as it supports exporting to GLTF. Just gonna select everything, delete. We're gonna add a small mesh as a floor for reference. Let me just move it into the ground, scale it a bit. It's cool. Alright, so now we're just gonna add one plane to have our performance. Gonna switch into edit mode. Rotate this 90 degrees and move it up. Mirror. I'm doing this on edit mode because I want the pivot to be on the bottom, because what this is gonna do is rotate the plane so it's always facing into the camera. So I want the pivot to be on the bottom. And finally, I'm just gonna set a scale so it fits our aspect ratio, which is 16:9. And I'm just gonna move it a little bit to the back. Cool. Let's just add a quick material to this. Put some blue floor. And the only thing remains is to to name that plane so the system know that this is where you want your performance to be. And for that you can just follow this cheat sheet, but your performance video plane should be named performance underscore and the index of the performance that you want to see. Then I'm just gonna go and save this Blender file as scenery. Cool. And export it with the same name. So now if I just open this, and of course you need to come back to your script and change the scenery so it points to the newly exported file, and there you go. You got your floor and your performance plane, which is always facing into the camera. So now I'm just gonna duplicate this one, move them a little bit, and change this name to performance 2, re-export, reload, and there you go. That's VRConcert right there. Okay, so in order not to be so lonely, there's another audience system that this has that will instantiate as many meshes as you want in the locations that you specify. And in order to do that, what we're gonna do is first create a super simple mesh to add as our audience. For that, it's gonna create a cylinder. Well, I'm gonna scale it by like 50%, and then I'm gonna move it 0.5. There you go. Come out of the edit mode. I'm gonna put this somewhere outside the scene because this is not gonna be visible. It's just gonna be used to instantiate around the planes that we set. And I'm just gonna make it just a little bit more skinny on the Y and on the Z. No, on the X, sorry. There you go. That should do. Make a little bit more tall. And that should do. Okay, so in order for this to be recognized by the audience system, we just need to name them audience underscore mesh underscore the weight that we want to have. If it was just one, we will set it at 100%. But what we're gonna do is just duplicate them, and we're gonna set this to 60 and this one to 40. That way 40% of the audience will be this mesh, 60% of the audience will be this other mesh. Cool. Let's set a quick material so we can see that they are actually different. And a red one. Cool. And the last thing you need to do is create a plane in where to spawn or instantiate these audience meshes. For that, we're just gonna be scaling this a little bit like that. Something like that. Let's just rotate it. Move it into place. this is too big. You go, duplicate it, rotate it, and move it into place. Oh, that should do. It's like a quick and dirty thingy just to show you up. Okay. And the only thing that's remaining to do is name these planes as audience, so the system knows that's where you want to spawn your entities into. And finally, you just export, reload. You can see that it's spawning the meshes and they're getting scaled on the Y, following some random band frequency band, and they only get instances on the planes that you have specified. Let's just do a quick stage here. And something like that. And that should do. Let's just move these puppies over here. Boom. And we need to set a material for this. Let's just copy the one for the floor. Export. Boom. And finally, another thing you could do is create an empty and put it somewhere like around here or whatever you want to. And the only thing you need to name it track title. And if you do that and export, now it will show up the name of the current track, which is defined once again on the track list. If you change this, that's the text that will show up there. And it will change with every track of the set list. And yeah, I think, well, there's the bands thingy also, which is that you can have any mesh pretty much. Let's do like a sphere. Somewhere in here, set a material like a new one. I don't know, some YD. And what you need to do is just call it band, the number of the band that you want to react to, and the axis that you want it to be scaled on. The bands go from 1 to 8. 1 to 3 is like the base part of the spectrum. 3 to 7, 3 to 6 is like the medium, and 6 to 8 is gonna be your high frequencies. So for now, it's gonna maybe put it on the 2. And if you export this, you can see that now it reacts with that frequency band and it scales on the 3 axes. And another thing you can do with this is add a light like a spotlight. I don't know, somewhere around here. Point it there to the sphere. Move it. That will do. Let's make it like 100. And the same deal. You just do band, whatever band is that you want to. And since there's no axes, it's full light. And what we'll do is scale the power of the light with the frequency band. And there you go. And if I remove the ambient lighting, so you can see a more dramatic effect. This will only get light up as long as the frequency has some amplitude. Cool. Okay, so that's it. I hope you like it, and I'm looking forward to see what you guys create with it. And have fun, and see you on the next one.